Tonight, it's official. Major League Baseball approving the Pawtucket Red Sox deal, how the city is moving forward. Plus, addressing opioid addiction for veterans, a discussion in central Massachusetts focuses on new ways to help those who served. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Brittany Schaefer. The city of Worcester is still buzzing after the PawSox move was made official on Monday. Thousands across the city celebrated both downtown and in the Canal District, but the dust has now settled. The city and team officials say it's time to start getting Worcester ready for April of 2021. Our Cam Jandro joins us live now with more. Cam.
Brittany, I had several people walk up to me yesterday and tell me they still felt like they were dreaming. But for the city of Worcester, this is in fact real life. And although it has been a long journey to get to this point, nothing really has even happened yet. The stars have finally aligned for Worcester to be the home of the PawSox. Major League Baseball giving the final thumbs up days after the city council approved the deal. And while there was a celebration Monday, for city manager Ed Augustus, party time is over.
We're under a tight time frame to get this ballpark built, to get the development built and the infrastructure built. We've got 2.5 years till opening day, so every day counts.
Augustus says the next steps in the process are to hire contractors as soon as possible and start designing Polar Park. PawSox owner Larry Lucchino does not want people to think the team is coming to Worcester just because a new ballpark is being built.
So don't think of it as a ballpark or a stadium. Think of it as more than a ballpark. This is a downtown urban revitalization project in an area that really can use it.
Construction of the 10,000-seat stadium is set to begin next summer. Another $90+ million in investment around the park is in the works as well, which includes 2 hotels, apartments, and retail.
We've worked hard over the last 10 to 15 years to get where we are today. And that's one of the reasons the Red Sox came here. Not just the community, but you saw all the development, the leadership here in the city of Worcester.
Former Red Sox player Steve Lyons won the Governor's Cup with the PawSox in 1984. He was at Monday's grand and glorious civic celebration, but says seeing the team move out of Pawtucket is bittersweet.
It's a hard day because I can tell you that I came through that system. Everyone here feels very victorious, and it should be a good feeling. And time marches on.
A big crowd took in the celebration to welcome the team. And the atmosphere seems to be a big part of the reason why Boston's AAA affiliate is moving to Worcester.
They're exponentially greater and warmer than we expected. It seems like we hit a nerve at exactly the right time.
Now, Lucchino said he had learned a lot from the public hearings that were held here in the city of Worcester, but he still believes this is a great deal, not only for the PawSox, but for the residents here in the city of Worcester. Brittany?
Thanks, Cam. And along with state and local officials, numerous former Red Sox players walked the Worcester red carpet and took part in Monday's ceremony. Oil Cam Boyd, Dwight Evans, and Jerry Remy getting a warm welcome from fans on the Common. Many of them spent part of their minor league career playing in Pawtucket. They say they have mixed feelings on the team leaving McCoy Stadium for Worcester's Canal District, but say it will be good for the city.
I always say, one city's loss is another city's gain. It's unfortunate for Pawtucket, but at the same time, I know that it must move on. It's a very happy time here for Worcester.
There's a lot of excited people out there, and I've always been proud to say that I was a part of the Red Sox organization, and I know this city's really excited to become a part of the Red Sox organization as well.
The popular player of the night, though, Pedro Martinez, receiving a lot of love in the city. The remnants of Hurricane Florence making its way across central Massachusetts. A flash flood watch is in effect through early evening in southeastern Worcester County. The heavy downpours this evening flooding several streets across the city, forcing the DPW to temporarily close roads. Southbridge Street in Worcester was closed for a portion of the day Tuesday. We'll have much more on today's weather and what we can expect for the rest of the week in our local forecast a little later in the newscast. The Blackstone Valley Chamber of Commerce hopes new technology will boost learning for hundreds of students on a waiting list to get in the vocational technical high school. The hub will provide a learning space for students in the region to work in a state-of-the-art lab. The space features 3 classrooms with manufacturing tools, a computer lab, and a 3D printer. The hub was funded partly through a close to $500,000 work skills grant from the state. Blackstone Valley Chamber of Commerce CEO Jeannie Heber says the project was 30 years in the making, and it will transform learning for students in the area.
We're working with 2 satellite campuses right now with Uxbridge and Northbridge High School, but we want to grow it throughout the valley and include any schools. Just in our area alone, we have 650 students each year who are unable to gain entrance into vocational technical training. So this is going to be a game changer for the way that education is presented.
The scanner can just help any project we do happen so much faster and just easier than designing it all out on programs, but then Onshape will help us with the collaborating with towns around us and beyond that.
Dozens were in attendance, including Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito and Congressman Jim McGovern. The two had their heads 3D printed into bobbleheads at the event. It's a battle the entire nation is fighting. Thousands of people die every day from opioid overdoses. In Worcester, city and state leaders are working to make sure everyone is getting the help they need, especially veterans who have served our country. Our Chandler Walsh has the story.
Opiate addiction is a problem Veterans Inc.'s Dennis Leary sees every day.
We see approximately, 300 to 400 veterans a year going through just one of our programs.
The Central Massachusetts organization runs the first vet-specific nonprofit treatment facility in the country. Leary says the opioid crisis is a nationwide problem, especially impacting veterans.
They may be taking pain medication to help them get through the injury and the wounds of war. That pain medication sometimes over time can evolve into an opiate abuse problem.
Leary was one expert at Tuesday's roundtable discussion on veterans and opiate addiction. Worcester District Attorney Joseph Early Jr. and Congressman Jim McGovern hosted the panel.
We talked about everything from prevention to treatment, removing the stigma, everything that's going to work.
DA Early says veterans are 2 to 3 times more likely to die of a substance abuse disorder than the general public. Congressman McGovern says there needs to be multiple responses like medical treatment, housing, and jobs to tackle the problem. He says more funding for services and programs is also needed.
There's some great things happening right here in Worcester County. But they can be more effective with more support.
Speakers and attendees shared their experiences and successes. Early says when it comes to opiate addiction, progress is being made, but the experts are still fighting for more solutions.
The smartest medical minds in the country tell us that this is a disease of the brain, and we've got to do more to fight this disease.
Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
A West Brookfield woman's bail is revoked after her blood alcohol level was nearly twice the legal limit. 54-year-old Cindy Bliss is charged with killing a man in April while allegedly driving drunk. The Worcester County DA's office says during a routine screening Monday morning, her blood alcohol level was 0.14. Bliss had been free since June when she posted bail and agreed to a pre-trial probation, which included remaining alcohol and drug-free. She is due back in court on September 25th. The fight is over, but the Save Notre Dame Alliance says a lesson is to be learned. The Alliance says the demolition of the historic church is painful to watch. The Notre Dame Days Canadian Church has been in downtown Worcester since 1929. This week, large cranes began to claw away at the structure. Save Notre Dame Alliance member Barbara Haller says she hopes the city can learn from this demolition.
How could this have happened and how could we have prevented it? And how do we stop it from happening again? Unfortunately, for many of us, this is the most beautiful building in the city of Worcester, and particularly in its location across from City Hall. And so we've lost a big one. We've lost a really, really big one.
A bell from the church is being saved and will be given to the city. Haller hopes it will be part of a memorial for the church. Now to the latest on last week's gas explosions in Merrimack Valley. The pressure in natural gas pipelines prior to a series of explosions and fires in Lawrence, Andover, and North Andover was 12 times higher than it should have been. This according to a letter sent from Senator Elizabeth Warren and Ed Markey to the leadership of Columbia Gas. The director of Power Systems Engineering at WPI says gas at high pressures is carried long distances in steel pipes from places like Texas, Pennsylvania, or Canada. The pressure is reduced only once it's distributed locally. Michael Ahern says there must have been a unique set of circumstances leading to last week's explosions.
Know that this is a very rare event, and so it says to me that something went wrong, or probably more likely several things went wrong to combine to give us this event. And so I'm sure they'll go after all those causes and get all of those fixed prior to reintroducing gas to the distribution system.
Ahern says it could be weeks or longer before people are able to safely return to their homes.